So this team, we are the team that's designing the toilet and a kind of a kitchen structure, which is kind of in the making at the moment. So my role is kind of the facilitator of this group, and I would say the people that are sitting here are just kind of, let's say, the tip of the iceberg of a bigger team that started it. And we are kind of, let's say, the kind of the architectural technical team that's taking the ideas from the group and kind of making it more precise or kind of putting on the finishing touches. So do you want to say a little bit about the process a little bit, just a little bit overall, and kind of give a...
Yeah, so when we first came here, we knew having a bathroom was necessary, and I think we delved into it more with Francisco's participatory design workshop. Then all the residents had their own idea of the toilet they imagined for this space, and we used to sketch out different design. Everyone had their own design, and we used to bring it together. But when after like 2-3 weeks into the residency, then we were teaming up, and we took the bathroom design, and we were trying to take some ideas from one person and include it into another. So there were ideas of having only one toilet. Then we were trying also to build in phases, maybe build one toilet, then build the other toilets after like maybe a year. There was also the idea of incorporating a storage unit with the bathroom. There was also an idea of incorporating a shower. And we finally integrated like 2-3 designs into one. So we have a squat toilets and a sitting toilets now. And with a sink in between towards the view. And Indonesian architect Andy Rahman joined us on the last week, and we talked more about the structure and how it's a relatively, I think, a bigger structure than the other projects. So we were talking about how we are going to build the wall, how we are going to integrate the structures inside. And also there was the idea of incorporating nature, bringing nature into the bathroom. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, actually, I'm joining in the last week for these residencies. So I came when Andy already here, Andy Rahman, and for the first meeting that we came up with, I knew that the toilet will be in between these two trees, and we came up with what if we put the tree in the middle rather than just putting the toilets just pop-ups from the ground. What if we incorporate the design with the tree itself, and also can we just make more organic design, like it's not like simple roof element, but we can crop it based on where the tree is. But since the tree itself is like we planned it before, so we just can move it in the center of the toilet. So we don't change a bit. We don't change a lot of the design, but we still have the point that we incorporate the natural elements here.
And I think I would also add, Andy gave us a lecture about brick tectonics, and we kind of tried to integrate that into the design. So when you're setting the toilet, it keeps perforating 1.5 meters above. It keeps perforating, and that was also Don's idea when we were first sketching out the bathroom. What if it's perforated and air can circulate into the space? And besides that we gave like a 50 centimeter gap between the ending of the wall and the roof, which means air could circulate the space. And you also brought the idea of having a chamber, because we were given a workshop on waste management by Mana Chakra, and there was also these discussions: are we going to have the type of toilets you were proposing, like with different chambers? Are we going to have a compost toilet or a grey water toilet, and that was also one of the discussions. We could also talk about the chambers.
Usually in Indonesia we had like 3 chambers minimum, and when the gray water comes out from the third chamber, it will be like more cleaner rather than we just put out like 1 chamber and then we let the water out to the sewage. So maybe if we had 3 or more, like 4, the water get cleaner, and then we can have like small pond or small puddles, and we put like water plants to naturally filter that water, so it can like absorbs by the plants around. Actually, that's the idea.
And also, I think the roof of the bathroom, we tried to have the same design with the Nimson's roof, so like a clay brick type of roof for the
Yeah.
And I think after we finished the bathroom, we were also discussing about the kitchen, the layout,
Yeah.
the set,
Yeah.
the dot.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to also put a little bit of context too. So the idea of this building, or the need for this building, came out of the fact that we started with an existing structure, which was not really existing. It was bought and placed here. It's an old traditional building from Java, and so that building was deconstructed from Java and reconstructed here. But it's just an open structure. It has just a roof and some columns and a floor, and that's it. And that structure is going to be used as a multi-purpose building. So it's going to host many different types of events, and so just having that kind of raw structure kind of created the necessity for having this toilet. And there were other groups and other teams that came in and made other things as that process developed. So in that process, we had several kind of interesting workshops, and some of them led by experts outside of the workshop, and some of them led by some of the residents within the workshop. And I just thought of this because you were mentioning some of the kind of things that came in and some of the choices that were being made, such as the choice of having a kind of a toilet that is composting or kind of breaking down the wastewater, and that kind of some of the decisions that were made came out of a process that was informed by some of the workshops, and for example, the value building workshop, we kind of developed an ethos of the team, of the residents that were here, and a lot of that kind of formulated around ideas of sustainability, ideas around respecting the culture here, the nature. And so I thought was really nice was when we had another meeting when the 3 of us kind of presented the idea of what we had in drawings with the other team members around, the wider team of the residency, and then we start having feedbacks. And so some of the feedback basically held up the ideas, held up the design that we've had against the ideas and the values that we stated earlier on in the process. So for example, we had at one point this slab sink, which was really nice. It was made out of concrete, or it was proposed to be made out of concrete. And then Ellie came in and was like, well, maybe, what about the design ethos? We try to minimize the use of concrete wherever possible. Is it just going to happen on the grand scale, or should we do it at every single detail level? And then that informed us to kind of make these other micro decisions and where and how to use concrete. So I thought this is
on a micro level, I would say we were also going through the Balinese culture of building, where if you place a temple, then that would kind of guide you of where to place the bathroom and the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I think understanding the culture also had an influence of placing the bathroom to where it is right now.
Yeah. Do you have you good understanding of that mandala, that Balinese mandala?
I got a little bit understand for that, but in my understanding in Balinese culture, the placement of toilets should be lower than the main space, and then it should be put in the opposite side of the temple, not like one side by side, something like that. So, for example, in Balinese, the main space is facing the mountain, which is Mount Ago. If we are in Sumber Kima, so the main space should be on the east or it's south, northeast. Northeast is like the part should be lower, and the toilet is the opposite, which is northwest, something like that.
Oh.
But we of course still using the existing site to understand where they should be. Like we have the public space here, which is the center space in mandala pattern, and we have this house, like the main space for people to gather up. It can be replace the main house, and we have the kitchen below here, up here. Sorry, and that will be another building that growing around this open space in the middle, and the toilets will be behind the main space on the east.
Yeah. And the thing I would add to that too is, which I really like, was this kind of this sense of direction and orienting around this high mountain that stands in the middle of Bali. So basically, this mountain, it's a small island. If you're not familiar with Bali, it's a small island, and it has a volcanic mountain in the center. And so when you place the mandala, that there is certain parts of the mandala that is informed by where you are standing in relationship to the center of that mountain. Right? So let's say the temples are always placed in a certain particular direction in relationship to that mountain. And in Balinese architecture, there is also use of this metaphor of the human body, whereas there's a head, a body, and a feet. And I think I might be saying this very wrongly, but it seems as though there's a certain kind of cleanliness that the head is the cleanest, and it goes down to the feet, which is the dirtiest. So in the way where we're sitting right now, that temple is over there, so the head would be kind of laid towards the temple and the feet away from the temple. And so the head kind of represents the gods, let's say the ancestors and the higher spirits. The body kind of represents the human realm, and having good relationship to other humans. And then the feet represents kind of the dirtiest part, and kind of other kinds of spirits, and that kind of informed the placement of the bathroom in that direction, and also a little bit lower in elevation to the rest of the buildings.
I think I would also add, with the head, body, and feet, when we were designing the bathroom, we were thinking of it as a typology. So you would see like there are two sections of bathroom, but we can also have one bathroom and place it at another area of the site, because it's a relatively large area. But we were also thinking of taking one part and placing it at the electric house there is right now. So the idea is to use this topology, but to maybe we can change the head when we place it at another area. So the design is not just for the specific location, but it can be placed at any area.
It's like a module. The last half station, we can repeat it in another building. For example, like the end of the kitchens, and we just need to change the radius, as well as the electrical panels.
And I think the concept of head, body, foot gives us the possibility of playing with the roof. So if we're down there where the big structures are going to be done, then maybe the roof could be a bit contemporary. We don't have to have something similar with the limestone.
So it makes decision making a little bit easier, a little bit more complex as well. But in certain things a little bit easier.
I think it's nice.
But I think we can leave it there for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.